It's Canyon's pick. Wry grin on his face.
Is that good or
Just going
bad?
to be. I actually love the Xin Zhao as well, as you already mentioned. Great at creating space.
What? What? But
In Game 5 between Genji and Top Esports, Canyon pulled out his signature Nidalee. This started a meta shift at MSI, where Shun and Owner also began to play Nidalee to great success. In this video, I will analyze how the best teams in the world played Nidalee at MSI. Teams that draft Nidalee know that her win condition is through long, drawn-out dances. Nidalee's spears and heals allow her team to slowly win any standoff. Therefore, teams at MSI complemented Nidalee with more poke champions such as Corki, Jace, Hui, and Senna to establish a poke comp. Kalista was also drafted to add some poke but also offer disengage with her ult. And lastly, tanks with disengage like Poppy, Cassante, Tahm Kench, and Nautilus were picked to make space for the poke champions and also bail them out if necessary. Let's now dive into the Nidalee games at MSI. In Game 5 of Genji vs Top Esports, Chovy is caught right before Baron. Top Esports immediately starts Baron, forcing Keen to TP for a 4v5. As Genji arrives to Baron, 369, Tian, and Draculov kite to the back of the pit to dodge Nidalee and Kalista poke. Cream then arrives and looks to wrap around Genji for a flank. However, Keen is positioned aggressively and starts stacking Cassante Q. And when Draculov feels threatened, he dashes out of the pit. But Keen responds with a Q3 knockup on Draculov and Mako that burns both of their flashes. As Cream begins his flank, Keen is buying time against the other 4 members of Top Esports. Canyon also helps Keen create space with Zhonya's, which puts Cream in a 1v2 situation against Pays and Lehens. But this 1v2 is losing for Cream, and once he leaves his shroud, he is deleted by Pays. Keen and Canyon both manage to escape after buying time, resulting in a 4v4. And now, Genji pokes down Top Esports while keeping their distance. Lehens flashes aggressively knowing he has Kalista ult to save him. And Pays plays up and baits 369's Urgot E with his flash. And once Canyon lands a spear on Draculov, the fight has swung in Genji's favor, and they chase down Top Esports with unrelenting poke. In Game 3 of the upper bracket finals between Genji and BLG, Genji has a poke comp, and they currently have River Prio. And when everyone on BLG arrives, On and Bin look to engage on Genji. But they are met with Genji's frontline. Chovy throws Hui ult onto Elk, and Keen knocks On away with Poppy ult. This leaves BLG scattered while Bin is isolated and stunned by Poppy E. Through their clean kiting, Genji come out with an HP lead. Genji could have started Dragon with their River Prio, but they decide not to. Instead, they retreat into their jungle to set up for more poke. BLG can start Dragon, but they know that it's losing against a poke comp. On decides to engage again, but he knocks up nobody. And to punish On for overextending, Chovy cuts off the jungle path with Hui's Molten Fissure. And once On falls, BLG realizes that the fight is lost and begins to retreat. But Genji is chasing to look for a re-engage. Genji lands a Nidalee Spear, a Severing Bolt, and a Kalista Spear to kill Elk. Everyone else on BLG falls shortly after as well. In Game 3 of the Grand Finals, BLG drafted a poke comp. Genji looks to make a play on BLG with Ash Arrow and Rumble Equalizer, but BLG kites well to make space for their poke champions. Here, On seems overextended, but this positioning allows the rest of BLG to land poke from afar. Shun lands a spear onto Pays, and Knight sets up a nice shock blast but misses. On looks to engage onto Chovy and burns his flash. But this puts On too far forward for BLG to support him with poke. So the rest of BLG lets On die so that they can maintain their distance from Genji and kite back as Genji walks to Dragon. Knight is forced to flash after being slowed by Chovy and Lehens, but he manages to survive. And as Genji start Dragon, BLG is in position to poke from different angles. Genji is aware of this and cautiously starts Dragon. But once Genji is grouped, Bin TPs for a 4-point flank formation to Genji. Shun and Elk are attacking from the left, while Bin and Knight are attacking from the right. In this situation, Genji looks to all in on Elk with Kalista ult and double flash. But this puts Pays, Lehens, and Keen out of position. Shun kills Lehens, and Genji are scattered with Pays retreating, Canyon still in Dragon, and Keen overextended. On also respawns and TPs to the fight. The rest of this fight is a 4v3 win for BLG. Later the same game, BLG and Genji are ARAMing when Baron is up. The pressure is on Genji to look for picks while dodging the constant poke from BLG, but BLG is constantly maintaining a safe distance from Genji. This dance goes on long enough for Ashe ult to come off cooldown, and once it's up, Genji pulls the trigger and uses Ashe and Rumble ult to engage on BLG. But Tahm Kench eats the arrow and W's to safety. However, Bin tried too hard to redirect attention onto himself, and has to use Flash and Tahm Kench ult to get to safety. BLG then kite up into Genji's jungle while constantly poking. The poke threat is so strong that Genji stops chasing BLG. As Genji retreats, they are seen in the river by Control Ward, and BLG slowly make their way back mid. Once BLG is repositioned mid, Knight finally lands a shock blast that turns the fight around. Finally, it is BLG who are ready to be aggressive. On falls while trying to engage, but BLG cornered Genji in their jungle where it is harder to dodge poke. Shun misses his spear, while Knight hits Canyon and forces Chovy's flash with Shock Blast. BLG slowly closes on Genji and then surrounds them to slowly suffocate them with poke. BLG sees that Keen is isolated, so they pick him off as well as Canyon, who tries to save Keen. This drawn out sequence ends when BLG gets Baron. In the very last game of MSI, Shun played Nidalee once more, but BLG fell short to Genji. Picking Nidalee in matches with the highest stakes shows how confident BLG and Genji are at winning with Nidalee comps. Which Nidalee play do you think was the best at MSI and why? Let me know in the comments. If you like analytical content like this, please hit the like and subscribe button for more. See you in the next video.